First of all, let me start by saying that if you are in need of life insurance products, annuity products, retirement products, or health insurance, it's always going to be best to consult with a licensed agent. Our services are free for you. We get paid directly from the insurance carriers. The rate's going to be the same for you regardless. Even if you went through let's say an AIG Direct or Direct General, the rate's going to be the exact same going through an agent or not through an agent, and every product always has to be signed off by an agent. Excuse me. That being said, let's go ahead and move forward. For life insurance products, most of you are going to be in need of mortgage protection. Mortgage protection can be a whole life or term life product. In most cases, it's going to be a level term or some sort of decreasing term. Most of the term policies I write, most of you do want return of premium. I hate doing the return of premium because an FIUL is typically going to work a little bit better for you, simply because return of premium usually pays either 0% or 2%, whereas an index universal life policy, usually the cap is going to be 7.5 to 13%, so you're going to have a lot more money coming back to you, and I'll go over that with you maybe later. For those of you that are just looking for like burial insurance, we call that final expense in the insurance industry. That's going to be a whole life policy, usually no more than $50,000. Usually it doesn't take any more than that to bury you. Those policies do carry a cash value with them also, and if you're in poor health, we do have guaranteed issue products for that. If you're in need of living benefits mean you're still alive. I mean, most people now that have a heart attack or stroke or get into a car accident or something like that, they don't actually die. You end up like in a nursing home or something like that, or you need home help. So you do need living benefits. That's what that critical illness and chronic illness and terminal illness. If you have like a heart attack, you could receive like 20%, 30% of the policy out at one time. Terminal illness, if your doctor says you're going to die like in the next 6 months or a year, you can receive up to 80 or 90% out of the policy. You can also use living benefits for income for your survivors, or a lot of you actually want to create estates for your survivors, such as you actually die, you want to leave your spouse or something $1 million, $2 million or something like that. Those type policies do need to be underwritten, just so you know. Excuse me here. Annuities, for the most part, that's going to be used, and also the fixed index universal life. I couldn't get that out over there. That's usually used for retirement income and college funding. I mean, so if you're putting money away, so that when you turn 65 or 70 or whatever age you decide you want to retire, then you have some income there for retirement. Now, keep in mind, term insurance is just what it says. I mean, if you have an injury or sickness or something like that, you may become uninsurable. Of course, you're going to have a pre-existing condition at that time, and you may not be able to get any type of life insurance. I mean, so that's the danger that you're going to be running into playing around with our temporary policies, even though the premium is going to be less than what you're going to find on a whole life policy. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Let's go ahead and move on. I don't want to prolong this video. Health insurance products. A lot of you are looking for health insurance. Most of you are going to be familiar with the Affordable Care Act. That's what they call the Obamacare. Those are policies that has to take everybody, and because of that, they're taking people that have diabetes, heart problems. Basically everybody. It's going to be the most expensive policy that you can get. It's going to have higher deductibles usually, but it does have full coverage. I mean, it covers pretty much everything that a health insurance policy covers. I'll show you that here in just a second. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that now. Let's break out of this. Let's just show you what health insurance covers so you have an idea. Believe it or not, a lot of agents don't even have an idea of what health insurance actually covers. But health insurance covers these things. I'm going to just let you look over this here. So I'll let the slide stay up for a few seconds. You can always pause the video at any time and look over this. A lot of these things are going to be optional, such as dental and vision. Critical illness, you're always going to be better served to get your critical illness through a life insurance policy as opposed to a health insurance policy. The $20 or $30 that they add on for critical illness for maybe $20,000 in coverage on a health insurance, you probably get about $150,000 on a life insurance policy. But let me go ahead and click out of that. If you need to go back and see what health insurance actually covers, as I say, just pause the video and go back and take a look at it. As you move around from policy to policy, some of these things are going to be be not included. Different treatments are not going to be included in the policy. You're going to need to be able to ask your agent what's included and what's not included, more so what's not included. And because they'll kind of they'll fast talk you and say, yeah, it covers this or covers that, but in the fine print it may say it only covers it up to $100 per day, such as hospitalization, and then you're on the hook for, let's say, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 per day. So just make sure you ask your agent questions on things like that. Let's go back into the PowerPoint presentation here. Let's see, where did we leave off? Let's see, let's go back to the health insurance. Other products you're going to have access to on the health insurance side is going to be a little less expensive. It's going to be defined benefits. Some of you refer to that as indemnity type policies. All these other policies for healthy people. If you're not healthy, you're going to need an Affordable Care Act policy. You're going to need to do that during open enrollment unless you have some sort of life event so that you can get the policy outside of the open enrollment period. But the benefits for defined benefit is predefined for whatever treatment. Let's say you receive $100 for a doctor's visit, which that's in network. Out of network, it doesn't matter because you're going to receive that same amount of benefit no matter who you see. Now, a lot of you are thinking $100 may not be a lot for a doctor's visit or something like that, but your policy, let's say Blue Cross Blue Shield or Humana, they don't pay exorbitant rates or whatever the doctor charges. If you read down the limitations exclusions, Blue Cross Blue Shield pays $100 per office visit. Any difference that the doctor charges and what they pay is going to be your co-payment, or it's going to have to be negotiated down. The insurance companies just don't pay whatever these hospitals and these doctors decide they want to charge. It just doesn't happen. But this policy is going to be less expensive than the Obamacare. Typically defined benefit policies don't carry any type of deductible, or it's a very low deductible. And of course, some treatments are going to be excluded. You're going to have to talk to your agent. Most of these policies don't cover things like prescriptions, mental health, maternity, and just a lot of different things that this policy is going to cover. So if you go over that list that I just showed you, a lot of those things are going to be excluded in the defined benefit policy and also in the short-term medical policies. Because as I say, these policies are, for the most part, they're for healthy people. Same thing for the short-term medical here. They are for healthy people. Short-term medical policies do cover, they do have deductibles and they do have a stop loss. Some of you just want to know, hey, what's my bottom line out of pocket for any given year? So short-term medical may be the way to go. The only thing is with short-term medical is just what it says. It's temporary. So if you have some sort of accident or injury, let's go back here. It's skipping around on me here. If you have some sort of sickness or injury, you may become uninsurable, which then you're going to have to go over into an Affordable Care Act policy, which is going to be a lot more expensive. The health cost sharing plan stuff, that's been around here for a few years now. That's going to be the ministry, the Christian programs. That's not insurance. They do have a lot of exclusions, and you do have to get pre-authorization on a lot of different procedures to be able to use that. I don't really promote it all that often, but I do make my clients aware of it, and it's typically going to be a little bit more expensive than a defined benefit or a short-term medical, but it is going to be less than Affordable Care Act policy unless you are receiving some sort of government subsidy. So if your family income is like $40,000 or below, in most cases you are going to be eligible for some sort of subsidy. Basically on my website you can go on and put your information in, and then it'll go over and take you to that page. Let's go ahead and try to keep this video as short as possible. Medicare. Well, you only have two options on Medicare. I mean, obviously when you turn 65, you're going to be eligible for Medicare. Part A, which is a hospitalization, that's automatic. You can opt in for Part B, which is going to be doctor's visits and outpatient sort of stuff. C is going to be the Advantage. That's going to be like an HMO or PPO, and that includes a lot of different things. That may even include the dental and the vision. It includes A, B, C, and D is going to be the prescriptions. Now, if you wanted to go with the Medicare supplement, you're going to have to pretty much determine what you want, you know, B, C, D. Let's see here. What happened? Well, let's go back here. It cut off on me. Okay, there we go. Now we have to go forward here. Well, we're going to wrap up with the Medicare anyway. But I don't think I really need the slide. Well, let's go forward here. And the one thing about the Medigap, the most important thing is you can see any doctor that you want anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. Now, if you're going to be on a Medicare Advantage, you're going to be limited to the network, and of course, you're going to have choices. And typically, the Medicare Advantage is going to be a little bit cheaper than the Medicare Supplement, depending on what options that you choose within your Medicare Supplement plan. That's totally going to be up to you. But again, you're going to need to talk to your agent on that. Let's get out of that and let's just get directly into the insurance. I showed you what insurance covers. Now, if you're looking for insurance, you can go onto my website and you can actually kind of do it yourself. But as I say, there's no advantage to you actually doing it yourself, because the price is going to be the same regardless if you use an agent or not. As you see there, the prices are fixed by law. So whatever a carrier charges, actually you can't get to the carrier without an agent anyway, so there's really no need in trying. You're going to have to go through an agent. If you click on this, if you wanted a health insurance quote, simply just put your you can, I gotta sign back in here. It locked me out. Let's we'll wrap this video up here for you. Just simply put your information in, the zip code. Hopefully you give me your name and your email and your phone number. I'm just going to put a zip code in here for now just to show you the next part here. And it's going to be in your best interest, as I said, to always work with an agent. Just simply put your age in and your whether or not you're male or female, whether or not you smoke or not. If you wanted to add dependents or something like that, you could add that in there. Of course, it's going to ask for your household income because it's trying to determine whether or not you actually qualify for any subsidy. That's the reason for that question. And then, of course, it shows, well, you qualify for $98 per month. But if you're single and you're making $40,000 per year in income, this thing will say you're going to qualify for subsidy, but you're not. And if you receive the subsidy at the end of the year when you file your taxes, you're going to have a big tax bill. I mean, I've seen that happen to too many people. And then it'll just give you the plans. You see, am better for my zip code. It's one of them, Florida Blue. I mean, so you go in there, you just kind of make your choice on what you want to do. And when you click on enroll, only thing that's going to do is take you over to an agent. So you really can't bypass an agent. If you want to get a quote on the life insurance, it's the same thing. You can put your information in there. I can't get in there right now. Let's see. Let's scroll up a little bit. It should ask for your information so that you can leave your name, your phone number, your email address, and you know, that way I can contact you, or you deal with another agent. That way you can see what the companies are charging for your particular age and your zip code, that sort of stuff. But as soon as you request an app or a full life application, it's going to start asking questions. All of that information is simply going to come to me anyway, and eventually I'm going to have to talk to you. The good thing about insurance in this day and age, you don't necessarily have to meet with your agent and sit at the coffee table, you know, and have him pet your dog or your cat or something like that. This stuff can be done over the internet and over the phone nowadays. We can simply email your what we call your illustration and your application out to you. You can simply do a DocuSign on it, send it back. The agent, which would be me if you decided you wanted to work with me, I could sign it off, and then it goes back to the company for underwriting. Same thing with the Medicare supplement. If you want to get a quote on the supplement, you just simply have to put your zip code in there to get started, whether or not you smoke, and then it would go over. Same thing, you put your information in there so that I can get in touch with you and go over your different options. And I am an independent agent, so if whatever you want to choose in here is totally up to you. I don't have to steer you into one particular product. I have more than knowledge of just that one particular product if you're dealing directly with just one company or something like that. That typically works out in your best interest because I'm just not steering you into whatever I have, regardless of how much it costs, and you're stuck with it. Let's go back here. If you want to scroll down through the website, read some other stuff on the website, you're more than welcome to do that. There's a video down there also that I'll give you some information on life insurance. If you want to study up on Obamacare or something like that, that's in there also. If you want to go ahead and work with me, or you want a personal quote that's more fit to your particular needs, use the link right below the video to go to my website here, put your information in, or go ahead and get your free quotes. And I look forward to working with you. Hope you choose me as an agent.